Okay. um, First of all, I want to start off saying thank you, God. I know there'll be a time when I'll be not be able to say that because perhaps I'll be in pain and I'll be so tortured that maybe I'll pray for death. If that's the case, let me thank God now because man, it feels good to understand that it's so much better. I hate the way I'm being tortured, especially psychologically. But man, to hear how people are trying their best to stop reality. The things I hear, right? The way they try to make me feel agitated or anxious is so pathetic in a sense that all I have to do is just kind of put things back in perspective. They've been manipulating me as a target individual in these disturbing ways to react toward children. Perceptions, the way I look at kids, the way I perceive children, the way I'm forced to react to children is so disturbing. And this is part of this technology that can manipulate your brain. And the reason why they do that specifically is because they try to break you down. There is nothing worse psychologically to have those responses forced onto you. And it's just a tactic, a tool you utilize, as you've heard so many times, that to break you down. They use this tactic to look at yourself in different ways, and then they try to gaslight you into accepting these things. Even with the utmost validation, they're gonna try to gaslight you. That's their job. You can have a video literally or something like showing this, and they go, "Oh, not true." Like that. That's their job. But what a life to live. I know it's easy in regard of like what to do. You just gotta say the foulest things, and just have a kind of like a no self-respect, and find a way to trick yourself into like be okay with involving yourself in the self-humiliation tactics of humiliating yourself but try to make somebody subscribe to it. Now, unfortunately, at this point, I'm just super validating. There's nothing they can do to me that it hasn't been done to others. The way they force these perceptions have been talked about. The stimulation talked about. The specifically aiming stimulation toward children talked about by others, not me. The way they kind of condition your brain, talk toward children, and have these things where they want you to look at children in a sexual way, basically like a program of perversion, as one have said, and have that aim toward children and teenagers talked about. And you have these people who then want you to look at them and accept this manipulation. Now, it's not going to happen. So what's going to happen for me is, as they said before, they're going to frame me, which validates me even more, makes me feel like you're definitely the trash that do these things to women and children. But that's the reality of what they are. So you shouldn't be surprised if people who do these things talk about framing you. They involve in the program that literally torture children. So framing you is nothing, right? It's just really on cue with what they do. And that's what these trash do. They are the nothings of this program that are supposed to implement these things to you. That's the trash that they are. Mass shooting just happened. Largest mass shooting of this year, of act number 10. These people are involved in this program. Framing you? It's nothing. They do the foulest things to the most vulnerable people. There's nothing that is too low for this trash. They are trash, truly. Even though they trash us, target individuals, they are the foulest things. So I expect better trashiness from the trash. Their goal is to trash me. It's humiliating. And I can hear the way they try to cope with this reality, with like telling themselves they are at war, because they do the things that it's like humiliating to themselves. It's not even just like because they care about me. It's because the way they make themselves look, what it does to the self-esteem. Can you imagine grown men whose job is to make you accept manipulation that is so validated that is manipulated, and find ways to look at children in ways that are forced onto you to be stimulating? That's your job. You have to live the life. Today you wake up and that's your job for today. Tomorrow too. For however long So they have to trick themselves into like the fantasy of like this is war. Obviously, it's not. It's not war when you just like applying different Department of Defense technology onto a baby. You know what I'm saying? So with me, it's just been so obvious. They did this thing with this kid, this 13. I'll make a video about it. This like kid dancing. She look like a typical dancing, like Indian. The most disgusting is like I get this like weird videos like appear on my Instagram from like India, and this been the second time that happened where very young kids like 13, 14 doing their little dance. This kid was more innocent when she was dancing. She was doing this thing, and and the way they were making me look at her chest, try to create something. It takes very little to try to make me look at her like she's a woman. She's like nothing, just a baby, just dancing, doing her little thing, just actually very innocent. But the perception at this point are just so disturbed that they can make me look at children in ways I would not naturally look at them. But because they want me to be subscriptive of these things they've done to others, it's like, no, but Billie Eilish. I'm like, what? And I look at Billie Eilish because I've made so many videos about Billie Eilish. If you go look at the last video of Billie Eilish, you see two pictures. There's three. There's one of the purpose that was supposed to make me subscribe that this is my perception. You see Billie Eilish and you see a woman that is a woman. That for me, that's what a woman is. When they say Billie Eilish is thick, I'm like, what? And you see the picture. And do you know what they're trying to do now to counter that? Because obviously this Billie Eilish is a kid. They try to make me look at her chest. Where first of all, she's a kid. Two, she is wearing like a long sleeve and a undershirt, like shirts and sleeves. She got layers. And they still try to make me look at her chest, this kid. To try to counter the fact that you were trying to make me believe that this is what I go for. You're delusional. And so what they're doing now is like, no, you see how you looked at Billie Eilish. It's the way you look, not trash. You're making me look at these kids this way. Look at Billie Eilish. This is that is what's going to turn me on. Delusional trash. And so you hear this trash. Try to counter this by saying, how I'm going to be fisted the right way. I'm like, listen, I'd rather get fisted the right way, be tortured the right way, be raped every day, than do what you do. You work for pedophiles. So this trash can even speak about a pedophile that picked up kids as young as this little Indian girl that was dancing. They can't even say his name. But now they try to force me to look at this kid's little chest and try to create this baby. Just happy, just doing a little dance. I'm going to make a video about that. But they want you to accept this. And I'm like, I understand. It's never going to happen. I know that you forced me to experience that. The reason why I make videos today is because I know there'll be a time I won't be able to. I speak about it as much as I can because there'll be a day I will not be able to. But when I can speak, please understand. From this point on, from every time, the times you heard me understanding what you guys do, forcing these manipulations and perceptions and forcing me to look at children in ways I will never look in a natural way. Organically, I will never look at it. And for you to say, no, Billie Eilish, and then I look at Billie Eilish and they try to make me look at this kid with layers of clothing on, try to make me look at her chest. Because they can't do anything else because her physique is the physique of a child. So they try to do something with the chest. And she has layers on. You can't even... And they're like, nah, it's war. I said, no, you're at war with consciousness. You're conscious. That's it. Just say that your job is to make me accept these things. That's your task. That's not your war. Most of these people will never be at war. Have never been at war. And will never be at war. But your employment is helpful for the developing of this technology, this weapon. So I'd rather get fisted rights every day. I know I'm saying that understanding that it's going to be painful. But this torture is the only way to feel better about the reality of what they're part of. These people are losers that can't even say the name of a pedophile that picked up kids. In every way, they've been humiliated by reality. Can you imagine being in a program where so many people have talked about how they do this pedophilia type of torture and aim they torture children and make me have this program perversion and try to make me look at kids and this literally word per word. And this bottom Peter's like, hey, you're gonna rap. And this person, they like to use this young adult people. And it was all comical. Now it's a little less comical because reality of what this program does to women and children. But on top of that, that cherry on top of the fact they can't say this pedophile's name, right? They can bang on everything. They just get mad, you know. But the fact that to find out that there is a fucking problem in these agencies, that there's a bunch of pedophiles in these agencies, is so disturbing to read an article saying that the amount of child porn I see on this IT agency provided computers are so disturbing that they want to even looking at personal, because it's already so disturbing to see that they are on their own government computers, they see child porn. So can you only imagine what they would see on their private computer? So this young adult that will try to be like kind of cool and do this thing in this fierce ways, like, you fucking work for pedophiles. You at war for pedophiles, but in reality, they're just bottom feeders for pedophiles. There's no right fisting that's going to change that. I was alive, conscious, and able to see that while you try to make me subscribe to this pedophilia thing. That was like a way to make me see reality while you guys out of here mad and that time. And doing the things that you've been doing to me since August 19, 2019. Me saying things that, you know, when I sent that letter to those newspaper, not knowing about target individual, specifically saying that I'm not thinking the same way, I'm not processing, my thoughts are not the same, things are changing, the way I'm experiencing things have changed. Not knowing that people have been saying that for years. And they use these retards, these young adults, so that wanted to be badass. You work for pedo. Dude, you can't even say the name of a pedophile that picked up kids. What? That's pathetic. If I could have been living like this trash. I said, you're gonna be Thursday, right? Oh, Jesus. So for me, if I see them in person, please believe they know. It's like, hey, I'd rather get fisted right. I'd rather lose my fucking eye. Dude, you can't even say the name of a pedophile. But you torture even infants. You're renowned for fucking stimulating children. Forcing, never stimulating children, torturing children. And aim stimulation toward children. And they try to find ways, like, meanings to be like, bad. As if I don't know they have been raping and destroying the life of so many women. Raped on a systematically daily basis. And try to find words to counter that. The faces of women burnt up. Genitals destroyed. Can't even use the restroom. Talk about she's being so tortured that she can't even use the restroom. Taking her hours just to use the restroom. And she's like, oh, bad. It's like, dude, you understand what the... I have this interaction with these people. And I'm like, dude, man, I could have been you. I could have been a fucking retard like you. Now you see me, you want to run. Not because you're scared of me. It's because I know what you're really part of. You're a bunch of pedos. When I was saying way before that, like, they sold to pedophiles, I didn't even read this article. Don't go frame, do your nasty shit. I'd rather get fisted every day in my life than do what you do. And you know I'm truly mean this. I'm thankful that in my life, there was not a moment where I could be like, yeah, I'm pissed I've been involved in this program that torture babies. Let me force him to stimulate our children. Thank you, God, that was never... Listen, I'm not perfect. One thing is for sure, I'm far from perfect. I've done stupid things and things that I'm thinking about is like, but man, one thing I have to be thankful for is I didn't involve myself in this program. Because first of all, it seems like it's super easy. They're not picking the geniuses here. It's just people who are just foul human beings. Or people, not even foul human beings, people who are just weak. Or anybody who wants simplicity in life. It doesn't take much. That's why, like, I'm sure that's why there's a bunch of pedos in this. I mean, but one thing is for sure, it's not the hardest thing to be involved in. It's not. Matter of fact, I think the people involved in this turn into something else. They have to really go backwards. Mentally, they truly have to become childlike individuals. Like, like they're at the point where they're like, oh, we're gonna plan child porn. You understand? What kind of person, first of all, would try to be cool with that and sounds fierce about it? But on top of that, I'm just reading this article showing there's a problem with pedophiles, child porn being downloaded in these agencies. He works for these entities, and he still tries to sound like cool about it. Like, imagine you, target individual, being this kind of person. That you are obviously seeing that there's a problem, and the entities that contract you. Pedophilia, child porn is it's a huge issue. Literally, somebody's shocked by the amount of child porn he sees on the government computer, the computers they give to the employees, not even their private computers. And it's like maybe the solution is to check their private computers, because he's so shocked that on the computers that this DOD, like super top secret entities, you downloading child porn on that. Can you imagine what they do in their private computer? And this guy's like, porn, child porn. I'm like, Jesus, thank you, God, I didn't have to live this life. Thank you. Thank you. How am I going to get feasted? My friend, I think these people can kill themselves if they ever think about the reality of what they're in. It is so disturbing. I'm just thankful. Now, whatever horrible things are going to happen to me, I just hope that God is on my side in the sense that give me strength. Just bring back the reality of what it could have been. I don't know how long these people are going to live, but if I mean with the most mean spirit trait I can be, but if they're going to live a long life, let them live this life as long as they can. Continue talking about how they're going to implant child porn or torture people where they let that be the life that they live before they die. Let that be the long life of that. Because if me, this imperfect human being that I am thankful and make me feel like a sense. Jesus. And listen, I'm not perfect, but thank you, God. Let this trash continue to sell to implant child porn. If that's what they're doing, let them continue to be framing people, and let that be called the daring things they do. And that'd be the fierce things to do. Oh my gosh, that's so disturbing. Can you imagine living life, walking around like you just implanted child porn? Oh my God, I'm excited for this amount of this trash. To live a life like this. I want this. I want to see this man. That he made it cool to implant child porn in the entities where there is such a problem, pedophilia. I have no idea what it looks like, but I can just imagine, because they do this interaction via V2K. These are cowards one-on-one, right? This is the cowardness in these people is just something that is superb. They are cowards beyond, and when you see them, and you're like, oh my gosh, they're like retards. They're children. They've been trying to make it seem fierce and daring to implant child porn when I keep finding out that there's a bunch of problem with pedophiles in these agencies. The more I read, the more crazy I just I can't even believe. To the point where in 2000, when the Globe was doing this piece about finding out there's a bunch of pedophiles in these Pentagon agencies. This trash. And when I mean pedophile, I mean they found a bunch of people downloading child porn. That nasty. They were downloading child porn by the thousand. Sorry. It's the other way around. Thousands of employees working in the Pentagon agencies were downloading child porn on their computers. They were downloading child porn from a website that was under investigation, that was being investigated, and there was an operation to catch who is doing this and who is buying this. They're finding out there's a bunch of employees working for agencies in the Pentagon who were downloading this child porn. They've caught over this. There was over 5,000 or so. Just like that, accidentally found out that they were downloading child porn on their computers. 5,000. You know how this trust was trying to counter that? This is about 100,000 employees. They're not looking for all. This investigation was not based on trying to find people working at the Pentagon downloading child porn. It just happened that way. Because there's so many people downloading child porn in these agencies that a good 5,000 were just found out. They caught 5,000 like that. So when this later on, years later on, this guy who works in this like security agency of the Department of Defense just examined the computers of the employees, is shocked by the amount of child porn he sees on this government entity's computer, downloaded on the government IT computers, the DOD. He is shocked. He's finding unbelievable the amount. And this guy, I'm sure, he's not somebody who's just like, I don't think he gets shocked a lot. And he oversees a lot. This Daniel Payne. When this man says unbelievable, it means it's crazy. It's a crazy amount. So, hearing this trash, saying he's daring to go and plant child porn on my computer, is like really on par with what he's really involved in. But trying to hear this trash, trying to sound fierce about it, and try to sound daring about it, I was like, man, you just do what you do. From where you do it from. I don't even know, like, I'm sure you have a lot of ways and places you can get that from. Matter of fact, that could be from your own. So for me, I'm just thankful. Now, of course, I don't want to be framed where they implant child on my computers. I don't want to be framed with this trash, these kids that's going to come up with this bullshit. I don't want none of that. But the way I'm seeing this thing is, what if I was them? What if I lived this nasty life, this cowardly life, this disgusting life? I will not be able to look at myself. It doesn't take much, but it's just this weakness. It's weak. And it's easy to be weak. So it would be easy to do what they do. I'm just thankful I didn't even have the option to do that. And this trash said this thing after I was watching this, like, I'm listening to this Spotify, this song I love. And you can see a little bit of like a snippet of a video. And there's this little girl coming in and like this like 7-year-old baby, just like adorable. The way they start stimulating me, as if like, and this guy immediately tried to box in this thing. It's like, oh, they're gonna fist you. I was like, dude, I start playing all the testimonies that show that they manipulate the sexual arousals and aiming toward children. Literally, one person is like going through like the different symptoms. One thing they can do is sexually arouse you. They can make you feel sexual arousals. They can have this target individual feel sexual arousals. Yeah, they all got quiet. It's like, oh, you heard that a million times already. That's why I'm feeling sexual arousals now being forced onto me. And then you try to gaslight me into accepting this. And they're like, no, but we mapped it to you when you were a kid. What? Trash ass. And then I'm like, hey, let me map it to when you torture children. These trash have been humiliated by reality. They not only do the sexual arousals and aim it toward children, which this woman who have children herself was forced to experience that. This woman that teaches children is forced to experience that, saying that even the smell of baby powder, the smell, they can make you smell things that are not around. The smell made her have this pedophilia type of torture. The smell of baby powder. So imagine if they want her to have toward the kids. It's been proven that they force people to have stimulations towards children. And they even force people to have child porn in their brain, and it's retards out. So they will map it, trash you, torture children, and you do this manipulation to aim the sexual stimulation toward children. Then they say, no, we're making you be a child. It's you when you were a kid. These people filled with pedophiles. How much in humiliations? It's like, no, man, remember what you did as a kid? It's like, oh my gosh. I'm talking to people who literally who literally torture children because they don't kill them. They torture them slow death. It's very slow. By the time they die, they're probably almost adult, if not. But the long life of torture. 3-week-old babies. Sexually torturing a 4 and 5-year-old with Down syndrome, sexually torturing them. And they won't be, now we mapped it to you as a kid. You're paying now for what you did as a child. I was like, trash ass. You should just continue to live life countering that. I would rather die slow every day of my life than be involved in a program that can counter the fact that you torture children. Babies. No. I'm not going to let you escape. And that, yeah, abuse. Oh my gosh. You hear this woman, Catherine Nestor, talk about her and her young child. Her and her baby being tortured, causing them damages, psychological and physical. Tough. Man, that's why when I see them, not only I know they do this peripheral type of torture, it will never be subscribed to. I've been thankful that the validation is there. They even talk about that. They talk about how they're going to blind me. They blinded 9-year-old shit. These are the kind of people, if there's such a thing as a real hell, right? They've signed up for it. If I was them, I would try not to die. Because I wouldn't want to find out if such thing as a hell exists. I would try my best to not die, find maybe a way to stay immortal. I mean, this shit sounds biblical at this point. These things they do, it sounds biblical. You know when you get that, the way they even describe, the way I'm forced to get arousals, I can really literally listen to a woman who said the same thing, where she feel like a warm feeling in a private area. Like an arousal, like it's automated, like it's just so quickly. There's a woman who have twins, babies, saying I felt like in 2007, it's like they make me have sexual arousal whenever. It's like automated. It's like, oh, you guys are not doing this to me. You're mapping to me as a kid. Trash. For me, it's like, yo, I been validated by ways that are crazy. You know, you can even hear like this BuzzFeed article talking about the CIA agent that was doing things to 2-year-old and 6-year-old. CIA agent getting child porn from a mother filming her own children. I mean, we're talking about this disgusting life. Now, I'd rather die slow. And the man who just killed 18 people, by the way, oh, he was being called a pedophile. I don't think they saw do the stimulation. I'd rather go through all the torture in my life, then die, then live the life they do, and then die. The disgusting life. They used to be loving to be seen. They love to be, now it's just so humiliating. The reality, like, they want me to feel guilty every time I get stimulation. It's like, what? This warm feeling I'm getting in my private area? I wonder where it's coming from. It's so natural. They're mapping. It couldn't be the pedophilia type of torture or the sexual arousals aimed toward children. They wouldn't do that. Not them. They have kids. Trash. Now, for me, I've seen the reality. So whenever it's time for me to die or go whatever, I just want to say thank you to God. There is no facade that's gonna make me subscribe to this thing. It's just been too validating. Like the testimonials are so surreal, similar. They're so similar to your testimonies. It is so surreal. And then you have childlike people who even they validate you even more by sounding the way they sound. And I rather die this way. And and the things they say, I gotta be strong in the sense that they want me to be scared. I will be scared if whatever horrible thing is gonna happen to me. But one thing is for sure, in the meantime, I'm feeling dignified. Because I know why they're saying that to me. It's not because they want to warn me. It's because the humiliation of reality of what I'm saying. Are you saying that this woman is being forced to get stimulation toward children? This mother of a few kids is forced to get arousals toward children. This teacher is forced to get stimulations or get some pedophilia type of torture when she's forced to smell baby powder. Almost all target individuals are forced to see child porn in their brain. This technology has the ability to force sexual arousals and control arousals on the target individual. But somehow you guys are not manipulating me to get these stimulations aimed toward children. You're making me think the way I thought when I was a child. For me, I will never let them live the fantasy. So when I'm screaming, I'm crying, I'm in pain, I'm suffering, because being a human subject where they can do so much to me, one thing is for sure, I will never think that, I could have lived life like them. That's the life I could have lived. I could have been healthy like them, doing what they do. No. I ask God to give me strength, and I'll scream like, please give me strength. And what I wish will never be trying to be these bottom feeders. I don't envy them. I don't even want to trade places with them, knowing that horrible things is going to happen to me. What I envy is the people that don't involve themselves in this, that live life every day. I miss that. That's what I want to be. That's what I want to trade place with. If they ask me, you can be one of us, you can involve in this, or you can die with this horrible way. I'm like, I'm going to die this horrible way. I got to get ready to cry and scream. I can't do this. I'll kill myself for real. Nah. So to all my target individual, stay strong.